Stitchy Mac here. It is Sunday the 8th of April. I do apologise. I've actually got a big blue thing in the sky and I'm trying to find a bit where the sun isn't blazing in. Right, sorry. Just to say, I've put together a few clips of stuff I've been working on over the last few weeks. I decided I would try it this way so that once I've been working on something, then I can just put it away in the cupboard. If I know I'm not going to be getting it back out again for a while, pop it away. And then so that when I come to do the video, I'm not going, okay, what was I working on and where is it? So I thought I would give this a little try, and that's it. And so a couple of clips from weeks ago, and then I spoke about what I was doing last weekend. And that's it. Okay, enjoy all. Hi, Stitchy Mac here, morning. And we are on March 17th. And I thought I'll just do a quick little piece on my chatelaine. I've just finished up the piece, the bit that I've been trying to finish. So I'm on target for my goal for this year. And I'm going to now give it a little wash. I'm actually going to this weekend decide I've given it a little wash because it's stinking. I'll be perfectly honest. It's really just, the abuse it's went through in the last few years. I thought I'm going to give it a little wash. Hopefully it's a decent day tomorrow. I can get out in the line and get it dried. A nice iron. And then I'm actually going to trim it up again at the sides because now I'm more confident of where the actual finished bits will be. Yeah, so that's my plans for this. And then I'm going to pop it away because I'm a little bit over it at the moment. It's like, yeah, I've worked hard getting this little bit done. Don't really want to look at it again for a while. So I'll just give you a little explanation. So this is, if I just fold back, I've completed the top side. So I've been working on since last year the parts. The chatelaine came in different parts. So this was part 7. These two are part 7. So obviously this repeats all the way around. And then this piece here is part 8. Part 8 was this building here. And then the top of this and this building here. And this one. Which was slightly odd. So because part 9 is then this bit here. And going up here. So I was like, okay. I'll just work it all together. Part 10 is actually going, I think it comes up to about there. It's the rest of this building. There is actually a little bit more to do here. But it's the rest of the building. But I'm a bit buildinged out. And I was just like, right, no, I'm going to do that. So my plan then for my target for the year is to complete parts 7, parts 8, and part 9 on all 4 sides. Which will only leave me part 10, which is going to be up here. And 11 and 12, which is the border. And then, finish. But yeah, let's not get carried away. This took me a bit longer. I kind of did this kind of I didn't work this the easiest way. I kind of picked colours and I kind of ended up all over the place. I was kind of doing bits here and I was doing a bit up here. So I was like, no, next time I'm going to just do this, up here, this one. So just to give you a little bit more detail. So these are all metallics. I keep looking at this bit thinking, oh, I've missed a bit. And it's not. It's Petite Treasure Braid 54. And it's really, really light. But on here, you can see it. But when I'm working on it, sometimes it's like, oh, I've missed a bit. And then this is all just DMC. Now, this bit here, I couldn't find a colour for it. Because this is charted for silks, and if now I'm just doing DMC, there isn't an equivalent for this particular silk. So I just decided, I picked a colour. And this is actually Gentle Arts Midnight, I think. And I quite liked it because I thought, well, the blues, you get the dark blue in there, dark blue there. Yep, went for that. So that's just I think these are Rhodes stitches. I don't really know. My knowledge of specialty stitches is, well, quite frankly, rubbish. So this actual majority was cross stitch, apart from the Rhodes stitches there, some there. Now in here was actually meant to be, I think they're called Jessica stitches. Yeah, I tried that, failed miserably, took it all out, decided stuff at DMC will look absolutely cross stitch will just look absolutely fine. Oh, sorry. And then these are all just little 1/1s. And then there's a few wee spaces here and here and there. And that is where the beads go. And there's some in there and some in there. Ooh, and down there. So this is going to be lots of beads. I'm trying to think where else the beads. This is a problem. You see, it's so long since I've done it. I think there's beads maybe in here. We'll find out. We'll come back to that. That might be the year after we finish on. So yeah, so it was really nice actually just doing some colours. I like colours. Just doing a little bit of orange. And it's actually really nice looking at it through the video now because you really see it all coming together. So yeah, I'm going to go away. Got some other stuff to work on tonight. Like I said, I'm going to give it some tender loving care, a little wash, a little iron, a little trim. Hey, right, so we are on March the 19th. And I just thought I'd show a quick little snippet of what I did just at the weekend there. I had decided this year I wasn't going to do any more new starts because I don't think my brain can actually cope with it at the moment. So I decided to work on anniversaries, birthdays of my new starts from last year. So March last year, March 17th, I started this Mirabilia Maidens of the Season Autumn. So I got it back out again and I managed to, it's really pathetic. Yeah. It's not really worth. That's 2 days progress. Last year and this year. So as you'll see, this is the girl here. So we're round about here. I started in the middle. This is on Sparkly's 32 count Joblin. I really don't know what the colour of it is. Possibly evergreen. I don't. It's on her website. It actually looks. It's showing up quite light, but it is greener. It isn't as blotchy. And I did do winter on this one as well, and it looks really, really good. So yeah, that's what I did for that. And the only other little Mirabilia related thing I'm going to show you is look. Oh, yeah, I won't do that because it's still in the plastic. Okay, it is a Mirabilia Stone Roses. Now, yeah, Stone Roses from 1995. And look, it's all, yeah, this is when it was all still. Let me see on this one. Does it give a year for this one? No, see it. Oh, 2003. Cool. Yeah, it says 2003 in that one. So from 1995, it was all still fancy. It's not even printing; it's different, everything. And I decided to pick this up. I don't know why. I don't think I just had never. It had never been on my radar at all over the years, and I came across it. I don't know if somebody else was stitching it. I came across it and then I was... Oh, sorry, crappy lights. I stuck it onto my so-and-so wish list. And then I was buying some DMC and I thought, oh, you know, so I'm just going to get this. But then I looked at the price on so-and-so and it was like £14 or something like that Now, I'm like, these have all gone up. I don't know if anyone else knows that, but I've noticed so-and-so the prices are sneaking up and up and up. So I had a little look about and I found it on Arts and Designs, artsanddesigns.com, which I like. It's actually kind of in the grand theory of things, a local company to me. They're just down in Dumfries in Scotland. So I think they had, it was either, I think it was £9.99 and free postage. So I was like, oh, yeah, that's for me. So I dipped into my Stitch from Stash budget. But I had to say, because I was doing the whole, no, I don't need any more. But I had noticed recently, like for instance with the maidens, that it's not as easy. I think this one you can still get, but I think it's the spring and summer. There's a few now that are getting harder to find. Obviously, if they're once they're out of stock, some they're just not being replaced. So I thought, right, and this one is a really old one. So I thought I will pick it up when I can. I don't want to wait until now, till they get to the ridiculous prices like they do now. So that was it. Yeah, that's all. Good morning, one and all. It is March the 31st. So I will now show you what I've been working on for the rest of March. So to start with, excuse me one minute. Excuse me. Get that off my chest. I've done a little bit more on my poppy panel. Well, it's red and yellow poppies. I'm calling it my poppy panel. So I kind of came out, did a little bit more up here and did a little bit more down here. So now the actual width of it is, so it's one of those, and then it comes over to there. So it probably just comes down to about there. I don't have a colour picture of it, but that's the full picture there. So thankfully, as I'll just try and explain, this here is all the green and the cream, and this is again kind of the very light colours. This starts getting darker here, and then this is all dark here. So that was it. I did this for my full coverage fanatics, by the numbers 1200. So I did something like 1200 just to say I'm doing this on 28 count 1/1. So I think I did some random kind of number like 1365 or something like that. I thought I'll come down here, just do this a little bit. But this is probably now going to go away. And then sorry, also for the full coverage fanatics, for the month of March, it was green or plants. So there was green, they're plants. So, but this is likely to go away now. I'm probably quite frankly not going to come back out again for this year. I think I've filled in all my other, like all the monthly. I'll do on full coverage fanatics is like a monthly theme, so I think I've managed to fill that up with all my other full coverage pieces. And the by the numbers, I'm not doing one specific one, I'm just kind of doing it whichever kind of monthly one I'm doing. So this is probably going to go away and probably not going to be seen again for a while. So also, the last few days, I've managed to fill in. This was January, February, March, and I was missing a couple of threads, so I'd ordered them, so I've managed to fill in January, February, and this is as far as I've got for March. I was actually working on it yesterday to try and get at least the border finished. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do though is just like start on the border for April, and at some point if I get a chance, I have a notion for it, I'll come back and start filling in. But I'm going to just try and at least get the border all finished this year, and then like maybe next year in March I'll come back and do that. Otherwise I feel then I'm just going to get so far behind. At least if I can do the border, because it's quite a drag. Yeah, so still enjoying it though. It's quite cute. It's quite nice and easy to do. You know, it's just kind of blocks of colour. So when you're working on the full coverage pieces, it's quite nice sometimes just for a quick wee change. So that's that. And then this is my temperature garden. So I'm up to, I think I've got about 3 days left in March to do. Originally I had January, February and March in there, but to be honest, I'm doing this 1/1. I think it's maybe 32 count or 1/1, because I quite like them being little small flowers. And I just didn't like the wording, so I took it all out. I know that's January, you know, so it will just come down there. And this is how sad, right, I was so excited, as you'll see, like, There's a little random purple one. So January, black kind of weather. February, black kind of weather. End of February, March, like purple, dark blue. Freezing cold. Like, just ridiculously cold for those few days. And lots of people got snow and everything. We didn't. It was very exciting. Everyone presumes because I live in Scotland that we got snowed in all the time. But we didn't. It's all rather grey and blah. So March, we're starting to... That one's a big one because it's 31 days. We're getting a little bit warmer here, but unfortunately it's getting colder again here. So there. So that was that. Oh, tell a lie. Next thing we did was... so for full coverage fanatics, quarterly, I can't speak. It's not the element one, it's just the seasonal one. So, over here, we have winter. I didn't get any more winter done, but this is going to be spring. It's very unexciting looking. Like there's a dirty mark on it, I think. Oh, I'll have to try and sew down into that. So this is spring. It gets more exciting as the month goes on. Down here we start to go into green and reds and things like that, as opposed to winter pretty much stays that colour. But it's such a nice easy stitch. Just lots of greys and browns, but I like it. So I'm going to do a little bit more on that possibly today. My goal is to do another 1,000 stitches on this. So that should be easy enough over April. And I also bought, you'll see, I've got this in a Q-snap. Now, I've always been a hoop girl. I've always used hoops. I've tried a kind of lap frame. It was okay. And then I thought, no, you know, I'm going to try not. I tried Q-snaps once before and I just didn't like the tension on it. And I felt like it just kind of kept popping out. So I gave up with it. But I'm getting a bit fed up. I having to always take things out, the hoops and everything like that. So I thought, I'll buy one. So I did. And I'm quite pleased with it. So I've ordered another one. And I'll see how I get on. Otherwise, only other purchases I've made this year. I'm just going to swing you around. Check out my new stitching chair. I had early in the year we'd ordered the sofa and the footstool, which I'm sitting on just now. And we weren't going to replace the chair, and then the new sofa came in and it was like, yeah, so we're going to go and buy the chair. So that's my nice stitching recliner. And this here, whoop, big finger, and pointy, is the lamp. Now, it's my new stitching lamp. I'm very, very pleased with it. It's not the most attractive looking thing. It looks like something out of kind of War of the Worlds, doesn't it? It kind of looks like one of those kind of... But by it gives it a good light. Originally, I was going to buy... My lamp I had over there went poof. And I was like, it's rubbish anyway. It was a very cheap one, so I chucked it out. And was really wanting to replace it with a daylight lamp. But the cheapest one I could get was like £140 off Amazon. It was like, no. I just couldn't justify spending that. And then I looked it up and there's loads of good reviews for this. And people specifically saying good for like crafting and things like that. So it's really the top bit of it, this bit here, you can actually have it like as a desk one. So I'm hoping I can take it to retreats. This bit. These bits are just extensions, and there's actually another one, so you can have it like taller or shorter or on a desk. So I'm looking forward to it. I can actually just like, quickly unscrew it all and take it with me when I'm going to my next retreat. Whoop whoop! Oh, which unfortunately isn't until like November. Oh my god, I think it's November. Is it actually October maybe? No, I think it's actually November. Oh, but hey, never mind. It'll come round before I know it. So that was my one splurge this month. And that's it. So other than that, oh, I'm just watching. Who am I watching? Trisha, 3 hours. 3 hours person. Yep, just been watching that, catching up with the computer. That's it. So I'm going to work on a little bit of this more today. I'm actually heading out. I'm going to go and get ready now. And I'm meeting my sister. We're going for afternoon tea. up at the Centre Hotel in Glasgow, so I'm looking forward to that. But before we go there, we're also going to a museum in Paisley. It's the Paisley Museum, and obviously there's a lot of stuff weaving and things like that, kind of looms, and obviously because of Paisley pattern, and they made lots of shawls. We're doing that, and then going to try and find this other thread museum. Anyway, don't really know. We're going to go for a little wander and see if there's anything interesting of the kind of stitching, embroidering nature. I'll try and take some pictures and show them here. But that's me for just now, so I'll be back in April. Cheerio, bye. Hi, afternoon. We are now on April the 8th, and I'm just sitting watching the Grand Prix and doing a little stitching, so I thought I'd do a little catch up with what I've been up to in the last week or so. I left off my last little clip. I was going last Saturday. I was heading up to Paisley to meet my sister, and we were going to a couple of museums while we were there. Now that turned out to be quite interesting. First of all, we went to the Paisley Museum, which is the kind of main town museum. It has some looms there, because obviously Paisley was very well known for all its mills and its weaving, etc. And where the Paisley pattern came from, the little teardrop pattern. Or it didn't actually originate there, but it became known for that particular pattern. And so that was really interesting actually, because there was quite a few looms there. And these things are massive. It's really actually... It's hard to explain how big these things are and how complicated they look, and there's all the different processes and the intricacies of these shawls that came from, they originated I think in Kashmir, because obviously this was all in the 1800s, when I think the kind of late 1700s, early 1800s, shawls were really fashionable, and there's some connection with, sorry, I'm a bit vague. But anyway, the British Empire, India, and stuff came from Kashmir and everything like that. And so these shawls, it was really coveted to have these shawls where they were... sorry, I'm kind of losing my words here, but just, they were kind of works of art, but also there were some they were saying that were like, people like commissioned these shawls, and they were like £300 or £400. And I'm talking £300 or £400 in 18 something and other. They said it's like the cost of a house. So these were passed down, and a lot of them will have, even though they became unfashionable, I think it was when, one of the things they were saying, it was like when the style of fashion kind of came in, and it was the bustle dresses. The shawls didn't really fit over them, so they kind of went out of fashion, but obviously they were worth so much money, they got passed down as family heirlooms, so they actually do... There's a lot have survived. So they had quite a few of them and these massive big looms. And you just think, holy crap, if that was in like a factory, the noise and, it just doesn't bear thinking about. So that was quite interesting. And then we headed on down, my sister had seen there was this Paisley Thread Mill Museum. So we wandered off down and found this. This is one of the old mills in Paisley. And it's now used as a business centre. This isn't just, they have this just, it's not so much museum, it's just a little exhibition of stuff. And they have it in just the main reception. Well, just up the stairs in the main reception. And so we went in, and it was only open on like a Saturday lunchtime. And so there was some people there, about 3 or 4 people there working as a stitching group. They're embroidering a panel, a tapestry panel. It's like part of the Renfrewshire panel, I think it's called. So they're all doing parts of it. It was amazing to see that. And then there was another lady there, and she was working on a crest, army crest. It was either an army crest or navy crest, because they have the original... And this was from the original kit. There were these kits in the war called Penelope kits. And you got your linen. It was pre-printed linen, and it had a crest on it. And all the threads. And these were sent out to... Sorry, I keep glancing over because I'm watching the Grand Prix kind of at the back of my mind. And these were passed over to sorry, either family members could request a kit, or they were given out to servicemen who were convalescing. It was felt like there was a letter came with it, this kit, and it said, "I hope you enjoy making this kit." They feel it was a form of occupational therapy that they gave out to servicemen who were convalescing for a long time in the hospital with nothing to do. Felt that this was a good thing, or for families who gave them some kind of connection. So it was only open to like family members for their particular battalion. Anyway, so she was stitching on one of these kits with the original linen and original thread. So you're talking from the 1940s. And she says, that's amazing how it looked brand new. It had, because they'd been kept, and they'd been kept in the kit. Like, these kits had never been opened, and they'd come across these kits. Because this was where this is housed. It's called the Paisley. I'm just gonna show. Okay, I'm having a total blank as to how to do this. Okay, that's it. Paisley Thread Mill Museum. And it's actually within one of the original mills. And it was an original mill owned by Coates Group, who are the manufacturers of anchor threads. So this is where anchor threads originated from. As one of the things. It was a couple of chaps. I'm just going to sort of read a little bit. So it was about 1812 that they established the cotton mill, the mill we were at. And at that same time, so that was J&J Clark. And then there was a James Coates who was a weaver. And he realised there was going to be there'd be a market for silk threads, twisting of silk threads. So they entered a partnership, built a little thread mill. They are now J&P Coates Group PLC, but they make anchor. So it was really quite interesting. Just seeing all the different stuff, and they had little display cabinets with various pieces from over the years. I'll see if I can. I've got a couple of pictures. But anyway, being a total thread geek, that quite suited me fine. So it was really enjoyable. And while I was there, they're giving out these. Well, it was £2 for this. Oh, sorry, I'm not actually going to put it on the way. So it's a tapestry of Renfrewshire. So in this little pack, you're getting a piece of linen, some thread. Let me see if I can just open it. Sorry. Crinkle, crinkle. Oh my goodness. What's going on? So there was various colourways you could get. Sorry, I'm just going to... Really should be a bit more organised for this one. Always good. Right, okay. So, teardrop. I picked the teardrop, which is the paisley pattern. And piece of linen. And some threads. That was the colourway I chose. There was various colourways. And you trace on the teardrop and you embroider it. And then you send it back. And you can put a little bit, there's a little bit they've asked you to put it sent back. You can, just explain if there's some particular connection you have to a paisley pattern. And send it back, and they're putting it all together. They've had lots back. And it's to do with this Renfrewshire tapestry. I've never done embroidery. I have done embroidery once, I think, but I've not done it for a long, long time. So I've YouTubed a couple of little things to see about doing some stitching. And at some point, I'll give that a go and I'll send it back. I thought for £2 actually felt a bit bad, just giving them £2 for it. So that's that. So after that, I headed into town. I headed into Glasgow with my sister and went for afternoon tea with scones and cream and jam. And it was very nice. And at the Centre Hotel. So that was nice. So that was my weekend last weekend. This week I've just been at work, blah, blah, blah. And then this week I've just been working on my mini captive. So I've just been working down through her dress, Because, oh, holy crap, I was getting into such a muddle. I'm stitching this on 32 count 101. Never doing that again, ever again. This is a nightmare. So I'm just working my way down. And my goal is to 1200. This is my by the numbers Sal in full coverage fanatics, and also the April witches, because it was white, sparkle, or birds. It's white, it's sparkly, and somewhere up around here there's a bird. So that's that. So I'm going to carry on. Well, I'll tell you, I've been doing a little bit of my temperature garden today just to keep that up, and then I'm going to carry on working on that. So that's that. Right, I'm going to start rambling now and finish this off. And I hope you'll have a nice stitchy month. Speak to you later. Bye.